I want to rethink with you what browsing is and what browsing could be. I want to question the paradigm that we got so used to. That browsing the web means that you see one page at a time. Your browser shows you one page and only what that page wants to show you. And although that paradigm, it may have been nice 20 years ago, but nowadays we deal with much more information than our brains were designed for. And I think we need better tools in order to deal with that information. So how do we manage our knowledge? The web was actually proposed as a tool, as a method for information management back in the days. And it's fun to see what kind of workflows people have come up with nowadays in order to deal with their information overloads. I see people use lots of bookmarks, some people use Evernote, Pinboard. People make Word documents with links to websites and then their notes, what they want to say about it and what they want to remember. I met somebody who prints all the documents he reads, puts color-coded stickers on them, and has an Excel sheet, which then matches the colors to the topics. And all of these things are quite cumbersome. They're an effort to use because you have a separation between the act of browsing the information and the act of organizing it. So a common thing that I've seen more and more nowadays is that people use tabs, lots and lots of tabs. Can I ask, who of you has at this moment 50 or more tabs open in their browsers? That's an awful lot of you. So it's very understandable that people use tabs nowadays. I like to say tabs are the new bookmarks. And for good reason, because they don't take a single click of effort in order to remember a page for you. Just by opening a page, it already gets stored. And you see things like Firefox has been experimenting with like showing your tabs in an overview, and you can group them. And like, where are we going? We're not talking about tabs anymore. This goes towards mind mapping. I think this is the way we should go. We should not call it tabs anymore either. My plan is to take this idea all the way. I want my bookmarking tool, my knowledge management tool, to be my browser. Or conversely, I want my browser to be an information management tool. Technically, it can still be a browser add-on, but it redefines the whole user interface and the way I interact with my information. I envision my browser to be much more than a browser. It would be a browser, but it would also save the pages that I visit. With a single click, like, oh, I want to remember this page. So store the whole page. Or even with less than a single click, just because I've spent half a minute looking at it, it would maybe work for my browser. I mean, we have plenty of gigabytes on our disks nowadays. Why don't we remember those things? So also when I don't have internet, then I can still visit the pages, because many pages that I search for on the web, I have already visited before. I would like to be able to Google through my own memory, not through the whole web. I would like my browser to let me organize my knowledge. The web is made of documents and links, but we can only see the links. We cannot make any links. I want to make it read-write. So when I see pages that I associate with each other, I want to connect them to each other. And I want to see that connection. And a lot of these links could be made automatically for me. For example, everything that I'm visiting, every page that I read while at this conference, I would love my computer to remember that I visited it at this conference. Because if in half a year I want to find back that cool annotation tool that I heard about at I Annotate, I have forgotten the name. I'm going to have a hard time Googling it. But if my browser just knows, like, oh, these are the pages you have looked at when you were at the conference or when you were in Berlin, I think that could be fantastic. So, lastly, it would let me also create things. It would would let me make notes, make compositions, and link those things to the documents, highlight things in the pages that I read. So a true information management tool that is like made for the web. I'm currently prototyping a proof of concept of such a browser, and I'm far from there yet, but I can already show you a little bit of what I'm working on. In fact, this current presentation file is in my browser. So this is how it shows a page at the moment. The interface has a lot of work to do still. When it shows a page, it doesn't just show you the page. It shows you all the pages that link to this page. It gives you the feeling of bidirectional links. You don't see the links that point out from a file. You also see pages that link to it. That's how I'm trying to make it. All the notes that you make are just HTML files. And they make links to the files that you want to annotate. And the browser is merely a multi-document browser that shows multiple pages at a time with links between them in both directions. And now it shows you the pages that you have made the links between. So I can tap, that one. Okay, so these are the things that I've linked to. I annotate to hypothesis, or let's say, oh, I just heard about this cool project, worldbrain.io. Cool, okay, well, put that in our browser. And it is a browser. I can just click this, browse through it. It is actually just based on iframes, and you can zoom out again, add things, add notes, things I did in Berlin. So, and the obvious next step, because we're making notes as HTML pages, and I make the links as HTML links, and everything's based as much as possible on existing standards. You could just as easily share your notes and share your links. If you connect your browser to a web server, the browser can just send post requests. It's like, can you share this link on my web server? And then you can start connecting to other people's mind maps, show other people's links into your browser. And then I think we really get to what you could call a read-write web. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerben. Any questions for Gerben while we get Dinesh set up?
Isn't that what a window manager's supposed to do? Isn't that what a window manager was supposed to do?
I think so, but do they? They don't remember your windows, they don't remember things. Window managers should, I think, also be integrated with browsers. You see also browsers are becoming the operating system a bit nowadays. And I don't mean like Chrome OS and Firefox OS are the solution, they just ditch the whole operating system. But I think you should integrate browsing and window management. So you could also just run an application in that, in that browser. But also many web pages nowadays are not pages anymore, they are applications. So, but those things, I think we should really integrate this.
Just a quick question. It's a cool project. Do you have a cool name for such a cool project?
I would like to
so that I can Google it later, because I will forget I saw it here.
I'm considering WebManX right now, or read-write web, or I'm not sure. I thought maybe to call the browser Bronze, because it takes the internet out of the Stone Age. We'll see. Last point, any collaboration, advice, funding would be very welcome. Come talk to me afterwards.